welcome my Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to our timeless Path of True Love reading with Extended. I am your reader, fellow Virgo Sun sign, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. I'm not bad, I'm just spelled that way. I am a professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions Incorporated since 1998, 25 years in service at the time of this timeless recording, and you know, for a Virgo, that means a lot to me. I am the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. There is a Kindle version available if you would like to preview it for free. There is a link in the description box, and you can see the table of contents along with some other stuff in there, and you'll see that it's broken down pretty much into chakra chapters, different graces for different chakras, and there are chakras in this read, so it might be helpful. The original version, though, the one that came before the Kindle, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, is available on my Patreon, patreon.com/Drawing the Circle, wisest career move I have made to date. Some of my subscribers on Patreon have access to the original version of Word of Grace, which is a Fellini film fest of color and spectrum. It's amazing, I love it. But all of my subscribers, regardless of level of subscription, get three benefits in common. They get me pretty much every morning when I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream link. So they literally chat with me about the day's astrological weather, the magical implications, the spiritual applications. I think maybe strike that, reverse it. Always ending with a prayer, a blessing, a little something to send us on our way. And it's my favorite way to start the day, considering what I do for a living. It's helpful, incredibly helpful. They also get all the extended readings, past, present, and future, including the one for this one. Doesn't matter which level of subscription, they have access to them. And they also get an extensive discount with private sessions with me. We'll talk about that at the end of the video, because again, I gotta talk business at some point. Virgo power, cross your legs, we'll get there. But I love it. It is the coolest thing I think I've ever done professionally. Patreon, lots of creativity, lots of creative license too. I love it a lot. And we also now have 7-day free trials if you would like to check us out for a week, and as well as we can start selling merch over there. So we're working on that. There's a lot going on here at Drawing the Circle. Virgo power, cross your legs. So go check it out. Come hang for a week if you like. Come play man on Patreon, because I am the Archangel of Lions, Mark Angelo Lyons. You can call me Mal, and I'm in a really good mood. I'm really ready to do this reading, so let's do some explanation for the new Virgos and cross watchers, and then we'll jump into the divination. Welcome, fellow virgins. This is a Path of True Love read. Lots of links in the description box talking about soul contracts, twin flames, soulmates, and true love and all of that if you want to go deeper into it. But what we're going to do is look at two people meeting at a crossroads in a Celtic cross spread. There's even a preface that I made to this particular spread on YouTube. If you want to check that out, explains how I do the Celtic cross and all of that. So in part one, y'all are going to get 15 cards. Going to get 2 Caroline Mace archetype cards for the 8th chakra dynamic of party number 1. Party number 2, we're dealing with it like a contract, right? Party number 1 met party number 2. Then we are going to take 10 Mythic Tarot. Juliet Sharman Burke's deck, beautiful Greek myth, my favorite language, to spell out that Celtic cross, giving us a little bit of a Google Map POV, right? Seeing from the satellites, but lower 3 chakras from the outside, looking in at yourself, or from the inside, us looking out at people, places, and things, relationships in the physical world. Then, for party number 1 and party number 2, each will get a Whispers of Love Oracle by Alana Hartfield. I always get her name wrong, which is ridiculous. Yeah, she also does the Whispers of Lord Ganesh. That will be in part 2, the extended, so the voices of the higher selves. party number 1, party number 2, and we will end part 1 with a Matt Kahn healing mantra. Doesn't matter which one you are. There may be mirroring, as well as some people have said to me that they can easily see one side as their own divine feminine energy, the other the divine masculine. You do you, because the thing about the path of true love, it is your hero's journey, your healing journey, your awakening path, your path of ascension, whatever you want to call that, through the lenses of your relationships and your soul contract. So are these always romantic? No, but the Leo one on Leo rising, I did yesterday, blew me out of the water. It was like practically rubber stamped as a romantic read. So, you know, with Sun, Moon, Rising, this is why you want to check your other signs, right? Because not all of them are. Why? Because you are the common denominator in all of your relationships. You be on your journey. And you have the choice of whether you want to be a hero or a villain, because there ain't much of a hero's journey without demons, dragons, vampires, and villains, have you noticed, right? So that we no longer delay what cannot be prevented. How many times we want to keep coming back to do that. And I do the romantic soulmate contract reads as a separate series, so that's when it's more specific. This is about you, regardless of what the other person says, does, or doesn't say, or doesn't do. This is about you. And me, apparently. We'll see. So I guess that's about it for explanation. Let's get down to the divination, just to say that you're going to get 18 cards if you jump over, if you're on Patreon, or if you're going to jump over to Vimeo.com, pay-per-view if you want to. Getting 33 cards minimum, because sometimes I throw more, particularly when it's one of my signs, because I like detail. Virgo, let's do this. So the shift from explanation, which I'm glad to do, to the divination, which I was born to do. That shift happens in that shift happens in the still point, and I just did some amazing breath work and meditation and prep for this, so let's dive in, shall we, my Virgs? Please take a nice deep breath, because as one of us takes a step forward on the journey of the path of true love, we all take a step forward. Here we go. Still point. Pantheonic override. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, for us Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross watchers, watching this video, drawn to this reading, I need 2 Caroline Mace archetype cards, one for party number 1, one for party number 2, meeting at the crossroads in the Celtic Cross of the path of true love, giving us a clue, a tip, a hint about the soul power, the soul contract being alchemized from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, on the path of true love. So party number 1, what's going on in their 8th chakra, affecting all the chakras underneath, what they attract and what they repel? So they have the choice to no longer delay. We have the choice to no longer delay what cannot be prevented on the path of true love, unless you just want to keep reincarnating. There's party number 2. Apparently there are other places to go. Can you imagine? I hear Uranus is lovely this time of year. Shall we? A king and a fool. Yesterday for Leo was the queen and the knight. We're getting royals. Now, this is the masculine family archetype, and this is a masculine family archetype. There are 9 different families. Has nothing to do with biological gender. Ever. It's about archetypal dynamic. As horrible as an archetype sounds is as wonderful as it is in its light. As brilliant as it sounds is as horrible as it is. And what's called here the shadow attribute and the light attribute. Lead and gold. 3 atoms in between lead and gold on the periodic table of elements. Spiritual alchemy is about transforming. Those atoms cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed, released. Alchemized is the language I use, so let's get into it. The king archetype does not do well anymore like it used to. The shadow attribute or the lead, excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. Now let's see, have we seen that on the news lately? No, not at all. No, except for fucking everywhere. The light attribute, the right, as horrible as that sounds, enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. Now, I don't see myself as a king archetypally, but I am a president of my own company, of one employee. Me! I collaborate with other people. That's different. You pay their own taxes. Thanks. Yeah, no, this is definitely a thing. Carolyn Mace, MYSS PhD. These are her cards. Sacred Contracts, Anatomy of the Spirit. A lot of my work is totally influenced by her. Glad to say it. I love her. But she said the United States does not do well with kings, and yet, here we go again. So, if this is you, heal this within you. You heal it within the world little by little. And let's talk about the Fool, because honestly, of these two, this is one I certainly relate to. Now, think Fool like the Holy Fool in terms of the Major Arcana card, the 0, the Lead. Using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. Well, I did grow up Generation X on Long Island in New York, so yeah, kind of, sort of, acerbic can be. The Light attribute, though, you tell me you don't see this in me. Fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Like everything we go through in relationships, considering we're all one, the illusion of separation doing what it does. So wonderful. This could be really, really cool. Now, again, is it romantic? Can't tell from just these two, and that's why we're gonna go to the lower 3 chakras, the physical level of power, literal level of power. In part 2, we use the Daughters of the Moon to get the heart, throat, third eye crown, the internal, the feminine energy. It's a goddess deck. So you do get the full chakra spectrum for both of these two. Shall we? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. My God, override. As I call upon my gods of earth, the sign of Virgo, powers of the north, please, beloved gods of mutable earth, like the shifting sands and the hourglass that make up the days of our lives. Please, 10 cards face down, Celtic Cross for the Virgo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Suns, and Cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading on the path of true love. We got party number 1 with the King archetype in the 8th chakra. What's going on? Root, sacrum, solar plexus. Same thing. Party number 2, the Fool, root, sacrum, solar plexus. What's at the core? Probably hidden unless they're very intuitive. What's behind them? What's stuck in their behind? What got them to the crossroads? What's hovering? What's crowning? Usually an act of will, choice, or decision to help bring that into form. Should they make that choice decision? What's around the river bend? What's right around the corner? What's before them on the path as the Virgo gets into symmetry? Yes, better. What is the lesson, the universal learning template? What is often called negative influences, but it's all challenges on the path of true love. From the outside looking in at this, if we were to bump into these two on the street, what would the vibe be? May not be what they are, but it's how they might appear. And what about their hopes and fears, their destiny hewn from fate, alchemizing the lead of fate into the gold of destiny? Where are they on the path of true love, and the most probable outcome to the true love timeline of the path of true love for the Virgo and their cross-watcher and or their cross-watchers in this timeless read. Shall we? No way. No way. Okay. All right. So the King with the Emperor. Come on. It's Zeus in the Mythic Tarot. It's all of the kings in the court cards, all the cardinal signs coming together. Now, a very masculine energy here, but whoever this person is, Zeus holds lightning, right? He's got the whole world in his hand, but he got lightning bolts in the other, thanks to his sort of son Hephaestus. That's a long story. We've really got possibly some control issues here, or someone who's got it together. You can't tell yet where we are, but if you know the Emperor, you know it is the divine masculine card. So again, depending on the alchemical percentage of lead to gold for party number 1, this could be really interesting. Could be a daddy energy, a father energy. Again, regardless, could be a boss, right? Regardless of gender. It's never about gender with tarot, with stuff like that. The Fool with the air Aries card, a court card, one of the kings that would make up the Emperor, cardinal fire. Now, this could be this person as they are, right? I would say definitely a solar plexus thing there. First sign of the zodiac, first house, ego, personality, the self, solar plexus, personal power, self-esteem, you know, all of that stuff there. But very creative, as well as this could be a collaborative thing, a king and a fool. The fool is the only one in the royal court that can speak truth to the king without getting decapitated for it, right? Hey, nani nani and all of that. Oh my goodness gracious. At the core, Persephone underground. We are dealing with some major arcana as the high priestess shows up. Now this is Persephone underground, Our Lady of the underground. Thank you, magicians, for that. That tickled my heart. Pink. Well, and green too. So this is Persephone underground. Like I said, she is no longer the maiden of spring or the lady of summer. She is the wife of death, queen of the underworld, in between a black pillar and a white pillar, which has all sorts of Kabbalistic stuff going on there, being the middle pillar. You do you if you want to look into that. I would say that there are definitely secrets here. Definitely there is an intuitive draw, I would think. The high priestess is the maiden, usually in the maiden mother and crone, the most beautiful woman on earth that no man can have because she belongs to the gods, right, in that way. But here we know what happens with Persephone. She spends 6 months underground. So there is something here. There is a hidden mystery here. There is a secret. Is this a secret relationship? I would think they would know that, right? That wouldn't necessarily be hidden influences, but let's see. Where is this coming from? This has shown up pretty much in every reading. Zeus as the Ace of Wands, issuing the call to the hero's journey for the return of the Golden Fleece. Jason and the Argonauts, the entire suit of the minor arcana of wands in this. So this is something that started before. This was initiated already. Again, root sacrum solar plexus. This could very much be the root chakra of that fire hitting it, and maybe not an inspiration, but an impulse, right? Something that brought this together, some kind of spark of desire and creativity, bringing them to this crossroads. You know, a king does need a fool, like to make them laugh, right? To help them laugh and to help them see things differently. But there's something deep and hidden here. Jeez, with the major arcana, the star, huge spiritual potential here. Again, regardless of the form of relationship, to get that what's hovering over this is what I consider the highest vibrational spiritual card in the tarot, right? So look at it. Here's Earth, here's the moon, here's the sun, and then there's the star, right? Way up there. It's how we used to, navigate by Polaris, the North Star. It's how we found our way. So here we have Pandora and her box, letting out all of the evils of the world, except for hope, which she keeps, and Neil Gaiman actually says that's sort of the worst thing that she could do, right? Because we still have hope. It kind of sucks. False hope in particular. I love Neil Gaiman. And Terry Pratchett. I miss him. Is this wish fulfillment? Sure, possibly. It's in the hovering position. It's crowning this. But definitely I would say guided, but if these... there's so many ways to interpret tarot. It's the biggest understatement I can make. But maybe both of them initiated something separately, and they're being guided together here, but they got to follow the spiritual guidance and the grace. I would say, again, depending on the alchemy of the king and the alchemy of the fool, that's a general read for you. Well, 8 of Cups is where this leads to. Now, I don't see this so much as a walking away, not in this deck. The Suit of Cups in the Mythic Tarot is dedicated to the myth of Eros and Psyche, and there is a link in the description box, a YouTube video, telling the myth, but it doesn't, like in comic book panels, it's really good, and it covers quite a bit of it. Persephone just running an errand for her mother-in-law, Aphrodite, to pick her up some underworld rapid wrinkle repair from Persephone. Well, there we go. Sort of full circle. This is not so much walking away from as walking into the self, probably second chakra there in a one-on-one thing, unless there is a tribal family dynamic here. So yeah, there might be a pulling back here, but why we will see in part 2 with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, Heart, Third Eye, Crown. The lesson. 9 of Swords, lots of overthinking, thinking. Virgo, right? So the lesson here is there's probably a lot of information to process, but I will tell you, I learned this from Matt Kahn, one of his videos, I don't remember the name of it, but back on Healing Mantra, last card down, he said when you're stuck in overthinking, it's like an alarm saying your heart's not open. Right? So breathe into your heart. It's okay to overthink, but to like balance your energy because it's all up here. And he's right. And it really works, for me at least. Your mileage may vary. Well, it's practice, right? So, well, I get why. From the outside looking in, Ace of Cups, this is something new. From the Ace of Wands and inspiration, it's like, ooh, want that. From the outside, this is something brand new. And Aphrodite, sweet and flying around with her see-through nightie and a cup that would make any drag queen's hands look small, right? A big-ass cup there. I love Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty. Why not? And one of mine got her totem on right here. Ooh, right here. Alexandrite, if you can get it. Yeah, so it seems like these two people, if this is indeed romantic, it's a little trigger McTriggerson, I think, for both of them, because this has great potential, but the destiny is achieved right now through the Hermit. With 8 of Cups, go within. Do your own healing. Remember, you are the common denominator in all of your relationships. In the Mythic Tarot, this is Kronos. Yeah, the one that ate Zeus and the kids, right? But, you know, he got locked in Tartarus, but he was released. They let him out, or he did his time. Why? Because Kronos means time, right? The Hermit here, there is some time needed. Now, I have hermited with another person. A lovely weekend, you know, lock the doors, shut off all the tech, order a pizza, and enjoy. But I'm not kind of getting that here. I am getting that there's probably some emotional stuff here, because particularly when something looks like your dream come true, your wish, your heart's desire, and all of that, it can be triggering, particularly if you've walked the path for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. That's why as one of us heal, all of us heal, because it's all the same story in different variations. And our most probable outcome is a page. I don't necessarily see pages as people, as I see them as things, messages. This is Aeolus. Oh, and I've got a kitty cat with the hairball doing the element of air. Hey. Oh, that's my Bellsy. Hey, Bells. He's a groom. He loves to groom himself, his little brother, all of it. It's a bit much. So, yeah, I mean, look, I get on YouTube, oh, the stalker card, maybe. But it does feel like messages are coming in. Page of Swords, that there will be communication here, that wind blowing. As to the content of that, though, I think that would be most probable outcome after this has been dealt with. Now, real quick, Major Arcana, we have got 1, 2, 3. We have 3 Major Arcana cards, right? The Emperor, the High Priestess, no, the Star, 3, and the Hermit, 4. So, okay, that might be our predominant here. I'm seeing 2 fire, 2 cup, and 2 air. So the only thing that's missing here, I think, is earth, our element. Is that true? Looks true. All right. So there's the foundation. Let's use the Whispers of Love, the higher selves, not of everybody involved, but the higher selves of party number 1, get 1, select 1, and then the higher selves of party number 2. Now, the thing about the higher self experiences all of our incarnations simultaneously, sort of the ultimate multitask, right? So their Whispers of Love can be very, very puzzling at times, but nonetheless, if you pay attention, they usually show up within 48 hours. Please take a nice deep breath. Like, oh, that's what that means. Still point. Higher selves override. As I call upon the higher selves of these two, this king and this fool contract, for the Virgo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading, higher selves, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, and need 2 whispers of love, one for party number 1 with the king archetype, with the emperor, lower 3 chakras, and party number 2 with the Fool archetype, King of Wands, the Aries card in this Timeless Path of True Love read. So, King, Emperor, back to what you love. Your current situation is giving you an opportunity to evaluate what you want. That's coming. Because is this your dream come true? Party number 2, the Fool with the Aries. Physical touch is important. Yeah, for some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving someone a hug who needs it, or a reach around, however, it's a general read. You do you. I'm just concerned about that High Priestess there, because there is something deeper going on there that needs to be tuned into intuitively, because if this is done purely with the mind, you can talk yourself out of it. This is an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. Now, if you just walk away without the reevaluation, that's one thing. But if you say, no, I'm going to take my time with this, I'm going to go inside and really, really feel this one out. I'm sure for some people, look at me crossing my second chakra. For some people with that 8 of Cups, there might be tribal dynamics here, kind of stepping away from the crowd to focus a bit more, not necessarily walking away from someone. Again, the descent into the underworld is part of the hero's journey, and that's exactly where she's going, and she has lots of help along the way, by the way. It's a wonderful myth, and truly, true love conquers all, but the course of true love never did run smooth. There, I gave you ancient Greece and Elizabethan all in one reading. I know. I was raised by a teacher. What do you want? Okay, physical touch is important. Back to what you love. Well, let's get a healing mantra. Last card down for part 1. Does not matter which one you are here. Work this for yourself. Because regardless of twin flame or soulmate or true love, this or that. Oh, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Oh, hairballs. My baby. You go lay down, Belzy. I know it took a lot out of your good hill sleep. So, yeah. Yeah, working from home. I love it. Herman and the Hermits. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get our Matcon healing mantra. I haven't done a magic clap here for a while. No, it's not a transmissible thing. It's an editing thing. Please take a nice deep breath. Fool archetype much. Still point. Ascended Masters override. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of True Love, and there's an awful lot of you, please, one card in clarity for us Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading, the perfect healing mantra to help us alchemize our shadow to light, our lead to gold, our pain to peace, our toxic to healthy, our fear to love, our illusion to truth, on the path of true love in this King Fool contract, in this timeless path of true love read. Healing heartbreak. My heart will love again. And I think this is not a breakup. This is a healing of something that might have happened before. Now, the 8 of Cups, certainly that walking into yourself. What this feels like, honestly, and I'm not just because I'm a Virgo, but with that star hovering above it and the High Priest, there is hidden content within both of these people here that both of them really need to evaluate. I would say even the whispers of love, there's definitely a connection here. Like, for example, let's take it out of romance for a second. You'll see what I mean. If this is family, a father and a child, a mother and a child, whatever, a brother and a sister, because with the royals, they are kind of like a family set. They're a tribal unit. The king, the queen, the prince, the princess, the fool, the knight, all of that. The damsel even can be in there. So you know, this is something where there's maybe some intimacy issues that are going on here. I mean, the high priestess, right, the virgin Persephone, but well, not for much longer, holding a pomegranate and some wilted daisies there. Hi, honey, I'm home. This really feels like a healing of the heart is available here. And then communication comes. That page, it's just going to take some time. So, healing heartbreak. My heart will love again, because that's the nature of the heart, and at the core of our heart chakra is the divine. It is true love itself. That's what the path of true love is. See that there? It's a statue of David. When they asked Michelangelo how he sculpted the David, he said, because it's big. I mean, that's a tiny version, you know what I mean? He said, I didn't. God created the David. I chipped away the excess marble. That's why the path of true love is so rigorous and a hero's journey if you play it that way. So, healing heartbreak. My heart will love again. And it looks like it might in this read. When heartbreak is healed, you are able to learn and grow from each relationship, no matter who you believe is to blame, as heartbreak is seen as life's way of breaking your heart open to expand the love you are able to give and receive. There's more room in a broken heart. Carly Simon coming around again. It's a good song. Trust me. Google it. YouTube it. It becomes easier to pick up the pieces of your innocence and invite greater intimacy into your life, which is kind of what this is feeling like, right? Getting back to what you love, reevaluating, and physical touch is important. This could be being triggered in a good way, where all of a sudden stuff comes up so that you can heal it. So to give this a shot. This card is ideal for dealing with resentment, releasing the past, and healing grief, because grief repressed becomes anxiety. It's a TED Talk. I saw it on YouTube. It's really good. I was like, oh, that makes sense, right? Because you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Virgos, right? Don't touch my feet, except on Pisces moon. Touch my feet. All right, so we're going to put this together in what's called a blessimation. If you're new, a combination of the word blessing and summation, Abi. And then we'll chat a little bit, and then I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to shift the camera, put out the other decks, and jump into part 2, the extended. So let's do this one last time. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheonic override. And we end as we began. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for us Virgo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, may we be blessed with all that we need on the path of true love, so that party number 1 can embrace their enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in their charge as the Emperor, really paying attention to those lower 3 chakra survival intuitions, particularly the solar plexus if they're violating their honor code or hurting people, being all tyrannical and whatnot. And so that party number 2 can fearlessly reveal emotions, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy, which would be really good with that Aries energy on the outer, perhaps that childlike innocence and that fun. Because at the core of this, there are deeper mysteries. This could be past lifey very, very easily. How could it not be? Right? And there are secrets here, but there are mysteries as well. And to find the middle pillar, the balance between judgment and severity, mercy and severity, I should say, to bring themselves into balance and to really intuitively feel what they're feeling in their own lower 3 chakra dynamic, because this was initiated maybe a while ago, maybe recently, but that Ace of Wands, a spark happened, a call was sent out to take this particular adventure on the hero's journey, and certainly enough, there is guidance, there is grace, there is luck, there is hope here, shining brightly, but again, that must be chosen, and from the outside looking in, lower 3 chakras aligned, this is about listening to the lower 3 chakras, bringing them into congruency and and making wiser, more loving, more empowered decisions here, which might very well mean I'm not ready for this, but I can get ready for this. I can perhaps go deep into the mysteries, into my own deep innocence here, and learn what I have to learn, feel what I gotta feel, and heal what I gotta heal without anybody watching, because we're Virgos. Thank you very much. So that we can learn our lesson, that there's a lot of thinking involved here, and if we get trapped in the head, that means the heart's not open, and that's okay too. But little by little by little, we can at least offer ourselves that cup of love, step by step, but certainly walking into these two, it's like, oh, this is new. Ooh, the potential for real happiness. Aphrodite, sweet and flighty, hovering there in her seat through 90. But the destiny is attained. The alchemy is done through time. And maybe they do this somewhat together. It does feel like there is communication going on here, maybe out of the blue. But certainly, if these two have danced together before and it did not go well, that makes sense. That it took some time to heal, to grow, to learn, to evolve, to be the best that they can be, and take the journey again, of course, ending at least this chapter of the story with some form of communication going back and forth, not really getting the stalker thing on that, and so that party number one can get back to what they love, because this current situation is giving them an opportunity to reevaluate what it is that they really want, and party number two, so that they can, get that physical touch is really important. This is not just about communication. Physical touch is important, because for some people, nothing is more important than a tender touch, including a pat on the back or a hug when they need it, or maybe something else, because, Virgo power, uncross your legs, so that they can heal their heartbreak. We all have it. No one in this world escapes the wounds of loss, right? Heartbreak for a lost job, a lost cause, a lost lover, a lost fur family member. It's all connected. So as one of us heals, all of us heal, little by little by little. So may the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs, and cross watchers be blessed with all that we need to navigate the path of true love in the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest way. Feeling what we gotta feel, healing what we gotta heal, saying what we gotta say, taking the time that we need to heal our heartbreak, because our hearts will love again for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, which is sort of the best part, as we will it. So let it be done. So motivate. So it is. Tingle, 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 tingle. Thank you, Janet Grace. I love this new music. I hear it in my head. Clairaudience for fun and profit. What do you want? I'm a professional witch. And if you like the video, please hit the thumbs up. Helps other Virgos and crosswatchers find it. Want more of me here on YouTube? Feel free to subscribe, because I'm not stopping. Because, come here, it's a gateway to Patreon. I love Patreon, and hey, anything that helps me keep my Patreon growing and expanding, because they keep giving us to grow and expand. Remember, all of my subscribers get the daily check-ins, the extended readings, and the extensive discount. We got Human, Seeker and Human, our first two tiers, is 7-day free trials. I think we're going to stay that way for a while. We've been doing Zoom classes there and workshops to specific levels. Check the menu. Seeker, Human, Hero, Angel, Witch, Immortal, Mystic, God, Goddess are our 8 the levels, tiers, they call them over there. God, Goddess is the top. They get everything. And I just love it. It's just the coolest thing I've ever done, and I do love the morning check-in. So even if you 7-day free trial for 6 days, then bail, that's fine. I'm a Virgo. I love what I do, and I do what I love, and I'm glad to have you along. But so far, no one who has signed up for a 7-day trial booted. They all became subscribers, so buyer beware. I'm good at what I do. And a lot more creativity and a lot more creative freedom over on Patreon. There's still community guidelines that ain't OnlyFans, at least not for another year. So thank you so much for watching. And if you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link in the description box to a video I made at the 25th anniversary when I raised my prices for the first time in 25 years. Booking private sessions with Mal explains everything for you, whether I travel, Zoom record, all of that. It's also on my website, drawingthecircle.com, all one word. Click in the store, usually somewhere over here on your screen. Listen the drop down, you do you. And you click on that, you'll see reading packages and spiritual counseling, and everything is printed in writing so you can see that of course I made a bar graph. Why wouldn't I make a bar graph? I'm a Virgo, right? Explaining it all. So check it out, because I've been doing Path of True Love reads for a very long time. Path of True Love as an archetypal concept is not new to me. We're talking decades and decades and decades of this stuff. So I've helped a lot of people heal no matter what the circumstances were. Why? Because we can heal no matter what anybody else does. That's the choice that can be delayed but not prevented. So hang in there, and if you need me, reach out. In the meantime, have at it, king or fool. Have some fun with this and take your time. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed, my beloved Virgos. Virgo power, cross your legs. Big time, Eight of Cups, cross your legs. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.